I saw our boy. The thought ran through John's mind on an endless loop. For 13 hours, he could think of nothing other than the face of that child standing on the side of the road. He had driven past the tattered remains of the Rathskeller Motel countless times on the way to his son's final resting place. It had always stood as a reminder of times past when small towns could bring paying customers to roadside motels. Doors swung from single hinges, battering the remains of the motel's facade. Visible through the front windows was the foyer, now covered in shards of glass from the chandelier that had once hung from the ceiling near the check-in desk. Every few years, a new set of pubescents, with fear in their hearts and adventure on their minds, would fall victim to those shards as they bravely explored the remains of the foyer and its adjoining rooms. The Rathskeller had not seen a paying customer since 1986 and had been condemned just 3 years later, a victim of changing times and changing faces. On that day, what John saw on Route 1 in Fairweather, Virginia, was not the crumpled remains of a local inn, as he had seen so many times before. The Rathskeller was often a part of that stretch of road that John would drive with thoughtless abandon, drifting without conscious recognition of surroundings or memories of just how the journey transpired. From almost a mile off, John saw the neon lights reverberating on the trees that line the forest east of the Rathskeller lot. The darkness of the early morning highlighted the glow that came from the Rathskeller's exterior lights. Where the rusted sign had once hung at an odd angle, there now resided an absurdly oversized LED display reading the Rathskeller Motel in sparkling Technicolor. By pure instinct, John slowed the car down as he approached the overly lit, newly remodeled building. The day before, the lot had been dead, a silent and dark memory just off of Fairweather's main drag. This morning, however, the lot was lit up like a new attraction from the Vegas Strip, beckoning all for a good time at a high price. Each light outside of the 15 small rooms shone brightly, showcasing evenly hinged doors that were freshly painted and numbered. Walls were reconstructed. The roof was spotlessly shingled. The parking lot, which had just yesterday been choked with weeds and broken asphalt, was paved, lined, and sealed, reflecting back the artificial light. The Rathskeller no longer looked condemned, destined to an eventual destruction by city code or Mother Nature. On this morning, the Rathskeller looked open for business. It was in the glow from the building's main sign that John first saw the boy's face. Though overtly pale and emotionless, he could not have mistaken his slightly hooked nose and emerging cleft chin. The nose had come from the boy's mother, the chin from John himself. As John inched closer and the light ran away the remaining shadows on the boy's features, it became abundantly clear. The 7-year-old that stood slumped-shouldered on the side of the road, holding a sign that read, "The Rathskeller Motel, where family is everything," had not aged a day since his funeral, nor had he changed out of his coffin clothes. 13 hours later, John mustered up the courage to pick up the phone. He felt his heart rate increase to a dizzying pace, and on the third ring, his wife of 15 years answered. "Why are you calling me at this hour, John?" I... Get on with it," Maggie said. "I've got an early morning, and Maggie, I need you to listen," John sputtered, not letting her finish her thought. "I saw our boy."